Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made this rather lovely tag. So all we've used here is really about 3 or 4 products. You've got Elements inks, so Sundance, touch of Russet Orange maybe, a little bit of green, whether it's lime punch or green sleeves or pine, whichever you have to hand, and some mulberry, and then splash some water on it, sage words, some sage flowers climbing up a hill. But where do we get that hill from? The Enchanted Forest collection papers. So take one of the large watercolour card tags, some Elements ink Sundance and your Series 7 stencil brush, and let's add some to the top here. It's a stunning colour, isn't it? I'll pop that away for the time being, and then I'm going to splat it with some water. If you leave it a little while, the water will work its magic all on its own. Now go in with some kitchen towel or paper towel, whatever you have to hand, and take some of that ink away. Look at that. I love that extra colour that we get. You know, the faux bleaching technique. It's fabulous. Just check it's dry. If you want, you can give it a quick blast with your heat tool. Now I'm going to create this, let me show you, this hillside. And for that I'm using the Enchanted Forest collection, and I'm going to go for a green looking paper that's got dots on. You can see it's got dots and it's got rather large leaves on this side. So I'm just going to rip that piece of paper out. We're going to take it from there and just rip down. If you rip towards you, then you should get the white on top of the bit that we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to rip down in a sort of triangle. And we're just going to pop some bippity boppity glue to the back, and then with nature's spatula, your finger, just move that glue to the edges really. Now I'm getting that ripped bit to go right to the corner. Yeah. And it'll be a bit of an overhang, but that's okay, we can trim that with a pair of scissors. Just try and make sure, if you're gluing it down, you don't glue it onto the bit of paper underneath. Let's trim this. Super. Magic, isn't it? It's already looking great. Next, we're going to add some sage. So this is a lovely new stamp from the Herbs and Delights collection. And I'm going to be stamping this using a VersaFine Clair, but not VersaFine Clair Nocturne. I'm going to go for a more greeny look. So let's try Shady Lane. So just ink up your stamp. And what I do is I stamp it off once, and then we start at the top and work your way down. And it gives a lovely effect without being too heavy. Don't you think? And if you vary the position, then it looks more naturalistic. Now don't forget, you have got a smaller herb stamp as well, so we can add that a bit later as well. Now I'm going to not stamp off now. I have inked up my stamp, and I'm not doing a second generation stamp. I'm going to go in with a more bold stamp, still using VersaFine Clair Shady Lane. Here we go. And we'll have a couple more of those, I think, just at the front. And maybe, because we've already stamped that off, we can add some even third generation stamping, if you like. Certainly adds a feeling of depth, doesn't it? Nice. Now, let's use the small sage stamp. So pop it onto one of your mini acrylic blocks, ink it up with VersaFine Clair Shady Lady, and just second generation stamping again. Add little bits of interest. Just makes it look different, doesn't it? There we go. And maybe one down here too. Okay, that was 2. But who's counting? There we go. Right, so that's our hillside look. But what are we going to do now? Okay, so grab your VersaFine Clair pine cone and we're just going to ink it up. And if, like me, you're always a little bit wary of word stamps, what you do is you just stamp it first on your backing paper so that you can see what it's going to look like when it's stamped. Just remember to make sure that you've got your words going the right way. And we'll just pop that straight across the top of the tag. And again, but this time we're going to take it a little bit further away so that we get a lovely border on the right hand side. And I'm not going to re-ink it, I'm just going to add it as is so that we get a faded feeling. A more vintage, shall I say. There we go. Then we take it to just off the edge. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Right, now I fancy a little bit of russet orange. So I'm just going to add a little bit to this top right hand corner, so Series 9 stencil brush. And I'm just adding a touch of that there, just to make it feel like a sunset. It's lovely, luscious. Now I'm taking a little bit of mulberry and I'm just going to go around the edges. Now look at how this colour starts to pop. If at any point you think, actually I want a smaller stencil brush, I don't feel comfortable going with a larger one, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to do that myself now, just to show you that you can get different types of control. So this is a Series 3 stencil brush. If I just put my hand there, maybe that will help. Comme ça. And we're just going to go up the side of this tag. I love this. It sort of gives it a burnt edge. Love it. Okay, so that, my friends, is my edging. Now, sage flowers, at least the ones in my garden, are a sort of purpley pink. So I'm going to use a purple and a pink Posca pen. So first my darker purple, and then I'll pop a little dot of pink. Okay, so find your flowers, even those tiny little ones that we put on with the smaller stamp. See if you can find them. There we go. Okay, we have got a sparkly pink Posca pen, which we can add some subtle touches of pink to the flowers. And it just helps them come to life a little. That little bit of subtle shimmer. Now, we're going to add our final piece, our final bit to this. And for that, I'm going to get the butterfly stickers. So I'm looking for the smaller ones. First of all, I'm looking for this one. Magic, isn't it? It's like having a butterfly on your finger. Huh. Clever. So clever. Having transparent edges just means that it will disappear into your work beautifully. So I'm just going to pop one here, and the minute we do that, the colours all come together. It's wonderful. Now we need to find another one. Now we're looking at the bottom right hand side of the stickers. And we're just going to pop it about here. And that is pretty much it, my friends. But we're going to add a little bit of extra to this. We're going to add a little bit of detail using our Mondelez watercolour pencils. Let's lift some of these greens so that we're not left with just two tones. It's amazing, isn't it, what a little touch of colour can do. So that was a darker mid-green, and this is more like a pea green. And there we have it, my friends. One completed tag, reminiscent of a rather warm, dusky evening with the butterflies flitting above the herb garden. It's lovely, I think. I hope you've enjoyed coming along and making this tag with me. I've certainly enjoyed your company. Anyway, if you've got any comments you'd like to leave about this make, please pop them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back in touch with you as soon as I can. But in the meantime, folks, you have fun crafting. Okay? I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.